He shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. This was Satan quoted to Mashiach Yahushua, but in the sea. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. See? That's what he quoted to Mashiach Yahushua. Like, remember? Satan appeared as what? An angel of light. He couldn't go to the law because Mashiach Yahushua cut him with the law. And he's going to continue to cut him. Continue. Matthew 4 and 7. Mashiach Yahushua said to him, it is written again. So where is it written? In the New Testament or the Old Testament? Is it written in the law or the prophets? It's written in the law. Listen, he said, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy power. You shall not tempt the Most High your power. So when people say, okay, well, the law's been done away with, or we ain't dealing with the law, come on, this is what he's dealing with. Point blank. To do what? Prepare you and show you how to rebuke Satan, rebuke the devil. By what? The Most High's laws. This is what he used. Deuteronomy 6 and 16. First and foremost. Deuteronomy 6 and 16. This works. Deuteronomy 6 and 16. Ye shall not tempt the Most High your power. That would be tempting him, as he tempted him in Messiah. You know, always complaining. Well, the Most High brought us out here to die. You know, all Israel always complains, say you should not tempt the Most High your power, as he tempted him in Messiah. You see? Now we're going to look at Deuteronomy. Now before we go, let's get 1 Corinthians. Go to 1 Corinthians, because it tells you how Mashiach Yahushua was with us in the wilderness. But he was an angel. He was an angel. He wasn't in the flesh, he was an angel, a spirit. 1 Corinthians 10. And let's look at verse 4. It says, and did all drink the same drink, spiritual drink, in the wilderness, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock, spiritual rock, an angel, that spiritual rock was Mashiach. Where? In the wilderness. Look at verse 9. Neither let us tempt the Mashiach, as some of them also tempted, where? In the wilderness, and were destroyed of serpents. See? Can't tempt the Most High, can't tempt Mashiach Yahushua either. But they did. And they paid the price. We paid the price ourselves. Because it was us that was there. But we don't know that because we caught up in religions and so forth that say this has no significance. And it does. Matthew 4 and 8. Again the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. So he showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory that's going to be in these kingdoms, including the kingdom we're in now, wherever you are in the world. Then said Mashiach unto him, verse 9, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee if, the condition. So I'm going to give you all these things, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. So anyone ruled in these kingdoms have fell down and worshiped Satan. Because he showed them all the kingdoms of the world and said, all this will I give you if you fall down on your knees and worship me. Then said Mashiach unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written. Every single time he's going to the law of the Most High. Thou shalt worship the Most High thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. That's what he gave him. You hear what he told Satan? Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, you, Satan, shall worship the Most High your power, Satan, devil, and him only shalt thou serve. So he ain't serving his own self. That's what Mashiach told him. Because you got to understand, he ain't going to say something that's off. He's telling them that. Just like what he's telling us in Deuteronomy 6 and 13. But it still applies to Satan. Those in the spirit have to understand the Most High got his right hand and he got his left hand. Deuteronomy 6 and 13. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. See, we got to serve the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Point blank. Deuteronomy 10 and 20. This is what he used. This is the law. Deuteronomy 10 and 20. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. That's the law. You see? Listen, verse 11 in Matthew the 4th chapter. Excuse me. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. You hear that? Then the devil left him. Exodus 20. Go to Exodus 20. This is the laws. This is the 10 Commandments in Exodus 20. And 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, no other idols before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the earth, the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. This is key right here. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. See? What does Satan say? Bow down and what? Worship me. What did the Most High tell us? Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers, the sins of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. That's what my Shai told us in John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. 1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments. Commandments are not grievous. For this is love. And 2 John 6, that we keep his commandments. That's love. But see, our people want to find all kind of ways, excuses, how they could be disobedient. The Most High gonna deal with you. And all you that want to come up with some way or another that you can justify being off. Most High don't care about your excuse. You don't want no excuse, man. You think you're gonna stand before Mashiach Shai, you're gonna give you the judgment of the Most High with excuses? I don't think so. Go back to James 1. This is where we were at, James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life. That crown of life is what? Everlasting life, to live forever, which the Most High hath promised to them that love him. Uh-oh. I just gave you the scriptures about how you love the Most High. 1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. St. John 14:15. If ye love me, Mashiach said, keep my commandments, which is the laws of the Most High. Verse 9. Excuse me, I'm going to jump down to verse 12. These are spots in your feast of charity. Of charity meaning love. When they feast with you. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong book. Salakia. James 1 and 12. Verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. Don't say that. Don't let no man say I'm tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. Remember, who's the tempter? He told you when you come to prepare yourself to serve the Most High, prepare your spirit for what? Temptation, for the devil. Let's go back there. Because it's a good chapter that I suggest everyone take their time and read with understanding, because it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, you're not nobody said they were beginners coming into my class, so all you know pretty much how to read and understand, or you've been given it. It's already been given to you. Ecclesiastes 2:1, it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare." We just gave you preparation through the Spirit of the Most High, thy spirit for temptation, for the tempter, for the devil. That ain't the Most High, that's the devil. You come to serve him, so he said, prepare yourself, just like a Mashiach Yahushai, who came to him. Once he came down from that mountain, the devil told you had to leave, angels nursed him, came and ministered unto him, then he came down and started his ministry. See, at 30 years old. It said, cleave unto him, verse 2. Verse 2. Set thy heart aright, set your mind aright, and constantly endure. And make no haste, don't run in time of trouble. A lot of you run. Don't even be no real serious trouble. But you done ran and still call yourself an Israelite. Look at all the brothers done left and sisters that left. But they still think they're in the truth, but they don't settle themselves together. What are they doing on the Sabbath day? What are they doing on the Sabbath night? Oh, I'm just resting. You're supposed to be dealing with the Most High. You in your own world. That's your pleasure. Your pleasure is to rest and not be opening up this Bible. You're doing everything else besides what you should be doing. He said, give me this day, my Sabbath day. It's very important. Don't play with the Most High. You're playing yourself. Set thy heart aright. Set your mind aright. And constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble. Don't run in the time of trouble. Say, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So if you do opposite of this, you're going to be decreased. And you're going to fall right into this, what the Most High tells us in Proverbs 1:24, because you done heard it. So many brothers have heard this. So many sisters have heard this. And they want to do it their own way. You're going to fall right into this trap. And here you go right here. Proverbs 1:24. Because I have called, he's calling you by you hearing the men that he's brought on this earth teach you the truth. And you refused. You know that you're supposed to be doing certain things that you were doing before. Now you don't do it. And you still say you're in the truth. You ain't in the truth. You fooling yourself. And whoever around you listening to you, you fooling them. Shoot, how many brothers I've seen? There's hundreds. Hundreds. You're not even doing it. So whenever I see one that does this, it's no marvel to me. Because they've been doing it. And the brothers are old. All they can relate to is back in the day. Because there's no day for them now. Because they don't have no testimonies to give. That's in the present. It's got to be in the past. Listen. Because I called and you refused. Proverbs 1:24. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. What's his hand? He said, I stretched out my hand. What is his hand? For you that don't know. He said, I stretched out my hand and no man regarded. Psalm 17:14. This is hand. From men which are thy hand, O Most High, from men of the world, see, which have their portion in this life, see. So he said, he stretched forth his hand, he's given his knowledge, wisdom, understanding to men, to bring to each one of you that can hear my voice and hear other men that's bringing forth this truth. He said, because I called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel. Say, oh, I'll do it the way I want to do it. So what he's telling you, you say is nothing. And with none of my reproof. Then he start dealing with you, and you still think you in the truth. And you don't regard the reproof that the Most High given you. So I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes. Oh, you get mad and angry at a man all you want to, but the Most High said this is what he going to do to you. For your excuses of why you're being disobedient. See, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh at desolation, you start destroying things that you have. Oh, you think he's not going to do it? He said, when your fear comes as desolation, I bet a lot of people wouldn't imagine what it would happen in Louisiana when their houses in the water. I bet a lot of Israelites wouldn't imagine that live in the path of the fires that's out here in California. And they only have them 20% contained. They burn over 32,000 acres. Oh yeah, when it comes at desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. You know, don't think it, because I know that fire most I be having a whirlwind coming to fire, make fireballs, giant fireballs. And they just float, you have the wind take them up and they float to another neighborhood and fall on houses. They can't put them out because a big giant fireball falling on the house, engulfed in fire, man. And burn up the whole neighborhoods. Houses are being burned up as I'm speaking to you now. They only have a 20% contained. He said when it comes as desolation, your destruction coming as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, he said you're going to be laughing, you're going to be mocking. Then shall they call upon me. Yeah, you're going to call upon them then, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early. They shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, which is verse 7, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. Wisdom is a proper application of knowledge and to instruct you through the men that the Most High have to come forth in these last days to bring forth this truth, the watchers, you see, watching over you to try and lead you in the right direction, but your pride, he's going to destroy you because of your pride. It's one thing I know, is that pride is hateful before man and the Most High. So leave it alone. You better humble yourself. Verse 28, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early. They shall not find me, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Most High. They were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. And you try to tell brothers and sisters about the right way, they despise you. But you ain't despising me. It ain't me you hate, or it ain't the man or the Most High that you hate. You hate the Most High. Because we have to give an account. We have to give an account. Those that are truly righteous and just trying to, you know, do the best they can to follow the way of the Most High, we have to give an account to the Most High, whether you understand it or not. That's why this is a job, a vocation, the highest calling in the world. Because you're gonna be held accountable. And knowing this, you can't play with this. You gotta wake up and see. Look what it says in Ezekiel 18. and verse 21. Let's start at verse 20. Ezekiel 18 and 20. The soul that sinneth, sin is the transgression of the Most High's law when you read 1 John 3 and 4. It shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. So the son and the father have to deal with, the father have to deal with the son has to deal with the father's sin. But if the wicked will return from all his sins that he hath committed, and keep all my statutes, and do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live. He shall not die. He will be cast into the lake of fire. That live is everlasting life. All his transgression that he hath committed, they shall not be mentioned unto him. In his righteousness that he hath done, he shall live. See, have I any pleasure at all that the wicked should die? Said the Most High Power, and not that he should return from his ways and live. Repent and change your ways. Become reborn or born again. A new creature, a new man or a new woman. That's what he's saying. Listen, but when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? You done heard the truth. But you come with excuses. Oh no, I'm gonna do it my way. But you can't justify it by the word of the Most High. So you knew what was right. You was doing what's right, and now you're doing what's wrong. This to you, all that fall into this category. But when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness, because that's what you're doing, because you were following what's righteousness and being righteous, and now you done went into following the way of the wicked. You out there hanging out with the wicked one way or another, doing things that the wicked would do, and not knowing the laws of the Most High. But you are going to get more stripes than them. Listen, but when the righteous turn away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, the wicked man don't know, because he don't know the law. He ain't under the law. You can't judge him by the law. You can't bring the law to him, because he don't know nothing about the law. You got to come and be taught. He haven't been, but you know. And you hanging out with the wicked man, you doing the same thing the wicked man doing? Shall he live? Shall he live? All his righteousness that he have done shall not be mentioned. Now you've been in the truth for years and years and years and years and years and years. And you just soon go out there and be right with the wicked and do the same thing they do. So most I say, shall he live? All this righteousness that he have done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that he have trespassed, and in his sin that he have sinned, and them shall he die. You realize you could be doing something, most I say, I'm killing you now. Tired of you, I'm sick of you. I'm going to kill you right now. And you in your sin. And you've been in this truth. You've been rolling like a Hebrew Israelite. Some of you ain't up doing nothing but pretending though. Verse 26. When a righteous man turneth away from his righteousness, he got excuses. The Most High know my heart. You done went back to what the world say. You following just what they say. Most High know my mind. Most High know I'm still in the truth. I just ain't really, doing what I used to do. When a righteous man turneth away from his righteousness, that's following the ways of the laws of the Most High. And committeth iniquity, committeth sins, and dieth in them. For in his iniquity that he hath done shall he die. That's what he's telling you. Again, when the wicked man turneth away from his wickedness, that he hath committed, and doeth that which is lawful and right, he shall save his soul, his spirit alive. You got to change. You got to become that new creature. You got to stop doing the things you're doing and change. Or else you're going to die. Because he considered and turned away from it all his transgression, all his sins he was doing, that he have committed. He shall surely live. He shall not die. Yet said the house, what say the house of Israel? The way of the Most High is not equal. O house of Israel, are not my ways equal? Are not your ways unequal? What the Most High said concerning us? Say, our ways are unequal. You want the Most High to fit into your program. Now you got to fit into his program. Therefore I will judge you, O house of Israel, every one according to his ways, saith the Most High. Repent and turn yourselves from all your transgressions, so iniquity shall not be your ruin. See? Your sins gonna be your ruin. That's why he said repent, ask for forgiveness, and change. Repentance don't mean nothing if you don't change. Understand this. I told you this in Hebrews 10th chapter and verse 26. For if we sin willfully, now you know what's right. You don't learn what's right. You have no excuse. None of you have no excuse. Any questions? No questions. So all of you know the law. If you don't, ain't no excuse for you. So all of you went over the law. You know the law. So ain't no excuse for none of us. Because I say all the time, read the law. I go over the law on the Sabbath day. Been going over it. So there's no excuse for any of us. You don't have no questions. So it says, if you sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. I ain't going to the Most High asking for forgiveness for you. Any of us, if you sin willfully, if you know the knowledge of the truth, I ain't going to the Most High on your behalf. Point blank. So you better understand this, people. What about Ezekiel 18 and 31? There's a solid the Most High accepting excuses to me. What y'all think? Y'all think he's accepting excuses? Your excuse? I gotta go get myself together, and I'll be back on the way I was before. Nah. You ain't understanding the scriptures. That's why it's a fearful thing for me to look at, man, I know I can't lead this, because I was in the world. I know what the world can do. I see what it's doing. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing the people in the world and what they're doing. It's wicked. Hebrews 10 and 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together. Now you're not assembling together. You individualites. It can't be. You used to assemble, but you don't assemble no more. So you individualites. No matter what city you in, you in the truth by yourself. Nah. What it say? Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. So much the more assembling ourselves together as you see the day approaching. You can't see the day approaching, then you straight in darkness. You only in darkness. You ain't in no light. Ain't no light shining in you at all. That's why we got to come together. That's why I have at least a platform for people to come on the conference call or put the information out there in the media, that people can hear this and learn this and be able to come on a higher level of spirituality with the Most High, so that we can have opportunity to make it to this kingdom and have everlasting life. Because we got next forever and ever and ever. Can't nobody stop that. We say the saints gonna take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. And we're the saints of the Most High, under the power of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. Ezekiel 18 31. Cast away from you all your transgressions, whereby ye have transgressed sins, and make you a new heart. See? All the time, Most High saying, make you a new mind. And I keep telling you, a new creature. Be born again. Here it is in the Spirit. He's telling you. Without any instruction that I went through all this studying to be able to know what I'm going to bring forth. Just from a conversation we just had. With those on the conference call, you see? So, he's talking. And it's his Spirit that's talking to us. This is what he said. Cast away from you. This is Ezekiel 18:31. Cast away from you all your transgression, your sins, breaking the laws of the Most High, whereby ye have transgressed, and make you a new heart, make you a new mind, and a new spirit. For why will you die? He said, why you want to die? Why I gotta kill you, O house of Israel? For I have no pleasure in the death of him that dieth, said the Most High Power. Wherefore turn yourselves around and stop walking backwards and walk forward to the kingdom of the Most High and following the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations, and live ye. That's what he said. Israel want to find some other way. And he's the only way. He's the only way. It's got to go through him. Let's look at Exodus, the 32nd chapter. We're still dealing with excuses, you see. Exodus 32. And we're going to look at what Aaron did. We're going to look at Exodus 32 and 7. So you know what went down when the children of Israel, when Moses went up to the mountain to get the 10 Commandments and the Commandments. The 10 Commandments is based upon how we serve the Most High and how we serve each other. How we love the Most High and how we love each other. 613 laws. It says, and the Most High said unto Moses, go get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way, which I commanded them. You didn't even say my people. He said your people, Moses. He even acknowledged us as his people. See, they have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it. When he told us, don't bow down to whatever you do. And have sacrificed it to, and said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And the Most High said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them. You see that? Hot, because he's a consuming fire. So let my wrath wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. You hear what he said? He said, leave me alone, man. Let my wrath wax hot, that I can burn them all up. When you say consume, you got to look at it and say, oh, so I can consume them, right? Go to Hebrews. What do you say? I can consume them. You got to know who you're talking about. Hebrews 12:29. Let me go down. He said, remember he said, his wrath wax hot, right? Listen. Hebrews 12:29, for our power is a consuming fire. Hear that? He's a consuming fire. Understand who we talking about here. He said, leave me alone, Moses. He said, anger wax hot. That's why he said, y'all understand, y'all not understanding, I don't think. A lot of you playing around. You say when you call him, he's gonna laugh at you and mock you when he started to destroy you. Look what he said. Once again, in Exodus, he said, in verse 10, Exodus 32 and 10, now therefore let me alone. Leave me alone. He said, leave me alone. That my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them. Let them know who you're talking about. Who we talking about? Ezekiel 22 and 20. This is the Most High. As they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it, that make it real hot, to melt it, so will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. That's what he's telling Moses. Yeah, and he's going to do this. Yeah, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall you be melted in the midst thereof. And ye shall know that I, the Most High, have poured out my fury upon you. Going back to Exodus 32 and verse 10. Now therefore, let me alone. Leave me alone, Moses, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, that I might melt them. I may melt them. And I will make of thee a great nation. He said, I'll make a nation out of you, Moses. This is who we serve, y'all. And Moses besought the Most High his power and said, Most High, why dost thou wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people. See, people don't understand. Isaiah 40, hold that. Repent against this evil against the people, because the Most High create evil. Here it is. Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Most High, do all these things. You see? So you got to know what you're talking about. When you call on God or Most High or whatever name you use concerning Him, you got to understand who you're talking about. People not understanding. They think, oh, coincidence. Ain't no coincidence at all. Most High got His hand in everything. Look, Lamentation 3:38. Lamentation right after Jeremiah. 3:38. Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. See? Out of the Most High's mouth proceedeth evil and good. That's what it's. Don't evil and good come out of the Most High's mouth? Look, don't get it twisted, y'all. Understand this and understand this. We're talking about the Most High. You making excuses, but you think the Most High is allowing you to do whatever you want to do with your excuse that you have against Him. It ain't against us, it's against Him. Look, Numbers 23 and 19. Numbers 23 and 19. The Most High is not a man. First of all, He's a man, it says. He ain't no woman. He ain't no man and woman. The Most High is not a man that He should lie. neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? So now, this is what we're looking at with Moses, and these are examples in our ammunition we can use what Moses is doing here. Remember the Most High said, hey, his wrath wax hot as fire, like fire. Come on, wax and fire will melt, right? That's why I took you to show you that the Most High said, I'll melt you, just like wax melt. But people don't believe it because you don't believe in the Most High. You believe in something else. You don't believe in the Most High. Now what we're reading about in this Bible. You got to come up with your own power. But when he started to melt you and start bringing desolation on you, and you realize, wow, I've been rolling in the wrong perspective of who it is that I call myself serving. He said, ain't a man who should lie. So now this ammunition and examples that we can look at that Moses is using in talking to the Most High. That's why for solutions I asked for. That's why I can give you solutions concerning what worked. Because it worked. It worked this time. And our ancestors, when someone lived after Moses, they used the same examples. And as we live longer and longer and longer, until we have the whole volume of the brothers and sisters that lived in this world that the Most High allowed to be written in this Bible, the examples, we go by those examples. That's what our ancestors did. They went back to Moses. They went back to King David. They went back to Solomon. They went back to everything that was written that worked. And that's what they used. So here Moses is pleading to the Most High for us, the children of Israel. In Deuteronomy 32 and 12. He ain't come with no excuses. Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people. This is what he said. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and said unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed. That's their lineage. And they shall inherit it forever. Listen, verse 14. Did it work? Listen. And the Most High repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. See? That's what works. That's what works. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. He that have eyes to see, let him see. He had already promised that. Moses remembered. And he went to the Most High, humbly before the Most High's throne, and said it. And you see the results. Verse 15. And Moses turned and went down from the mountain, and the two tables of testimony were in his hand. The tablets were written on both their sides, on the one side and on the other were they written. And these tablets, two tablets in his hand, written on both sides by the finger of the Most High, and the tablets were the work of the Most High. And the writings was the writing of the Most High, graven upon the stones, see, from the Most High. He did this. So all you that say